In late 2019, the world collectively lost its mind over a tiny green alien with enormous eyes, wrinkly skin, and a penchant for mischief. Known initially only as the Child, Baby Yoda, later revealed as Grogu, stole the show in The Mandalorian, igniting a merchandising frenzy and becoming an internet sensation overnight. But Baby Yoda wasn't an isolated phenomenon. Rather, he became the apex of a long-standing Hollywood trend. The strategic deployment of babyfied versions of beloved characters to maximize emotional appeal and marketability. This phenomenon, which we'll call the Baby Yoda syndrome, speaks to a larger pattern of storytelling shortcuts, audience manipulation, and the power of cuteness as currency. When The Mandalorian premiered, the appearance of Baby Yoda was kept under tight wraps to preserve the surprise. This proved to be a masterstroke. Grogu's big eyes, gentle coos, and silent stares instantly endeared him to audiences across generations. Disney's decision to delay merchandise, while uncharacteristic, only built more fervor, turning Baby Yoda into a social media juggernaut. But more than just a successful marketing strategy, Baby Yoda fulfilled a narrative function. He humanized the title character. Through Grogu, the otherwise stoic Mandalorian found purpose, emotional depth, and moral complexity. The child's vulnerability raised the stakes and shifted the show's tone from gritty sci-fi to something closer to a space western fairy tale. The formula worked, and Hollywood noticed. Soon, other franchises followed suit. In Tim Burton's Beetlejuice, a pint-sized Beetlejuice emerged, complete with the same striped suit and chaotic energy, but filtered through an adorably grotesque lens. Universal's Jurassic World Rebirth introduced Dolores, a full-grown Aqualops that appears youthful due to its size, with unusually expressive eyes and a dog-like loyalty. Both characters serve similar purposes, softening the tone, broadening the target demographic, and maximizing merchandising opportunities. But the Baby Yoda syndrome isn't new, it's just been rebranded. Long before Grogu slurped his first frog, audiences were charmed by Baby Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. A literal rebirth of a beloved character, Baby Groot danced, babbled, and repeatedly stole scenes with little more than 3 words. Like Grogu, Baby Groot offered comic relief, emotional resonance, and infinite merchandising potential. Even further back, the 1980s gave us Muppet Babies, a prequel cartoon reimagining Kermit, Miss Piggy, and the rest as diaper-clad toddlers. It was one of the earliest examples of retroactive infantilization, taking beloved characters and reimagining them as children to target a younger audience. The approach was wildly successful, spawning imitators like the Flintstone Kids, a pup named Scooby-Doo, and even Tiny Toon Adventures, which played with the idea of young legacy characters. Then there's Baby Cousin It from Addams Family Values, a moment so brief yet memorable that it cemented itself in pop culture. An already absurd character, Cousin It became somehow even more delightful as a miniature. It was less about narrative depth and more about novelty, an element central to the Baby Yoda syndrome. And of course, we can't forget Baby Grinch from Ron Howard's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. With his green fuzz, oversized head, and exaggerated facial expressions, Baby Grinch walked the fine line between endearing and uncanny. Though he appears only briefly in a flashback, his sequence became one of the film's most quoted and memified moments years later, thanks to his dramatic flair, emotional backstory, and accidental cuteness. Baby Grinch's tortured childhood origin story helped humanize the character and laid groundwork for the future trend of giving even the crankiest icons an adorable youth phase. What Baby Yoda and his successors demonstrate is not just a resurgence of cuteness in genre storytelling, but the modern evolution of a long-running media trope, one with its own name and history: spin-off babies. This trope involves taking an established cast of characters and reimagining them as children or toddlers, often in a lighter, animated format. It exploded in the 1980s and 90s when the desire to build Saturday morning cartoon empires met the need for family-friendly, brand-extending content. The difference between spin-off babies and the modern Baby Yoda syndrome lies in integration. While spin-off babies like Muppet Babies and the Flintstone Kids operated as self-contained reimaginings, today's baby characters often exist within canon, reshaping the emotional tone of the larger narrative. Baby Yoda is not an alternate reality version of Yoda, he's a central figure in the Star Wars mythos. Like, Baby Groot is the same character as adult Groot, just reborn. Still, the roots are shared. Both iterations capitalize on the audience's love for the original property, while using cuteness and innocence to either soften or reframe that nostalgia. Spin-off babies turned gruff, sarcastic, or adult-themed characters into wholesome preschool content. Today's baby characters do the same, but with more complex and serialized storytelling. The science of cute explains much of this trend. Human beings are evolutionarily predisposed to respond to large eyes, round faces, small stature, with affection and protectiveness. Known as Kynsian schema, this response triggers nurturing behavior. Hollywood understands this deeply. By introducing baby versions of established characters, studios essentially hack the audience's brain, compelling emotional investment through cuteness alone. These characters also provide an entry point for new fans. Younger viewers may not connect with a grizzled bounty hunter or a sarcastic demon, but a baby version? That's instant appeal. While cute characters can invigorate a franchise, overuse or poor integration can cheapen the narrative. Relying on babyfied versions can feel like pandering when done without substance. It can flatten complex stories into vehicles for plush toys. It can also become creatively limiting. Once a franchise leans on a baby character for charm and emotion, it's hard to wean audiences off the gimmick. Moreover, not every character benefits from infantilization. When poorly conceived, baby versions risk turning into parody or undermining the original character's mystique. What works for Grogu may not work for, say, a baby Hannibal Lecter, though give Hollywood time. The Baby Yoda syndrome represents the intersection of storytelling, marketing, and evolutionary psychology. It's a strategy rooted in emotional manipulation, but when done well, it can add genuine depth and charm. Whether it's Grogu's wide-eyed wonder, Baby Groot's sassy innocence, or Dolores the dinosaur's unexpected loyalty, these characters demonstrate the power of cuteness in contemporary media. Yet, as more franchises jump on the baby bandwagon, the trend risks wearing thin. Like any trope, its longevity depends on reinvention and restraint. Until then, prepare for more tiny versions of your favorite anti-heroes, monsters, and outlaws. Because when it comes to winning hearts and toy shelves, size really does matter.